Welcome back to Travel of All Trades. I'm back on this gun stock project. Left off, I had got my roughed in shape. I've inlaid this piece in here. I've carved out my barrel channels. I've got my rough shape. So apparently my daughter's upstairs making a mess. If you can hear that, I don't know. You probably can. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start carving all this and making a shape out of it, and make it all nice and uniform, so it flows with this really nice. I'm going to start by taking this out of here. Got to trace this on here just so I know where I'm at. I don't want to over carve. And the trick to this is to, when you're carving to this line, leave it a little heavy, and then fit this piece and sand and carve and do whatever you want to do to take material off here to make it fit this. Inlaying is one of the hardest things about carving a gun stock. Like cutting all this out in here and inlaying this into here, it's time consuming and tedious. Took me a while to get patient enough to do that. And I mean, you can see here, I've got a pretty decent fit in here. Both sides. Around the trigger guard. Fits the sides of the gun nice. It's not perfect by any means, but it's pretty decent. So I'm going to take this out of here and get started on carving this. So I think what I'm going to do here is right across here is where I'm tapering this down to meet this. I'm going to taper these sides out. I'm going to taper them down to meet this. So I want to keep this line all the same. So I'm just going to start by drawing a line. Now what I'll do is I'll taper that from this line where this is out to here, and then that'll just taper this all out and give me a beefier looking stock. Alright, so I cheated and I went and cut that on the bandsaw because it would be a little easier than carving it. So you can see how I'm all tapered. I'll just grab a rasp. And when, to be honest with you, when you're carving, the rasp is the best thing. You get your roughed in shape, and you can take some off with a chisel or use a draw knife or whatever, or a block plane. I mean, you can use just about anything to get the bulk of the material off. But for shaping, just a plain old rasp, cabinet rasp is the best thing. All right, so you're going to take your rasp and just start shaping. Now I'm down to my line here the whole way around. So you want to go slow. I'm just going to leave this like this for now, and then finish working the rest of this, and then a lot of this I'll be able to sand because I'm right there. I don't need to take much. I'll show you. See, it's right there. I mean, I don't want to take too much more off there with the rasp. And you've seen how quick that rasp took that down. Okay, I'm going to mark my center of this. Okay, now when I'm rounding, I want to try to round from the center out to get this all nice and uniform. Now you can see it's starting to take shape now. I don't know, I was thinking about maybe tapering this a little bit, or maybe putting a couple little like handhold areas here, like just kind of dive it in a little bit. Just something to give it some character. I don't know. As I'm carving, I think of things, and I might do it and I might not, and might screw it up and might have to start over again. Who knows? That feels better in my hand already. I'm just going to quickly hit this with a sander and see what it's looking like. I might taper this inward a little bit, just because it's sticking up past the barrel some. I'm going to take that to the bandsaw. Alright, I cut that off on the bandsaw, tapered it there a little bit. Now what I'm going to do is, I'll just, this is bulging in, and then it's going to bulge back out, and then it's going to taper, and I'll just kind of worry that all in to make it look like something. My grandfather once told me, I asked him, how do you carve a gun stock? He said, well, you just cut it out the shape of the gun stock and you carve it till it looks like one. And that's pretty much what I do. Well, let's stick it on the gun and see what we got so far. Well, that's what I got so far. I'm liking it. What do you think? Not a whole lot of work to a 4-end. little bit more sanding, a little more shaping. I think we'll have it. Oh, it feels nice. I'm really liking it. Sometimes when I'm nearing the end, I'll just switch over to a regular file because it's less aggressive and it'll still take a little bit off. Right now I'm just trying to make it look even, look the same, symmetrical. It's mostly eyeball, you know, not a whole lot you can do. I mean, it's on either side of the gun, you're not going to be looking at it at the same time, but I'd still like to have it nice and even. That looks much better. When you look at it this way, it's not hanging out over. One side was hanging out over a little farther than the other. Now I got it pretty nice and uniform. Got to take a little bit more down around here. I think I might just leave this piece on and file it to that. I have to reblue this gun anyways. So I think what I'm going to do is if I mark this, it'll just get polished out and reblued, so no biggie. Well, there it is, all roughed in. I'm losing my battery again, so sanding and finishing will be on the next video. Well, there it is, all roughed in. A little bit of sanding and do a little bit of work on this in the next video, and then we'll get some kind of finish on there. But there it is. Let me know what you think. If you want to see some other stocks I've carved, I have some upstairs. If you're interested, I'll do a video on showing you those. But until then, like and subscribe. Stay tuned for other videos. Thanks for watching.